Look, we're back. We're back. Look, I'm back. Back from vacation. Like, I'm subscribed. Thank you for all my other videos. I'm gonna get a video up a day. 200 subscribers is my goal. Let's get right into it. Look, um, everything I said would happen, man. I said, if he really gets in and does what everything he said he was gonna do on the campaign trail, that it was gonna be terrible, and it's terrible. Like, this is like the country like. I used to tell people, Brie, I love America. And they'd be like, what? Love is a strong word. And back then, that was a valid opinion. You know what I'm saying? Even with Trump on that first term, it was still valid because America was still America. But now, we might not be America. We might not be number one for long because of Trump. And he's terrible. I told you so. Everything I said, we was right. Y'all just didn't listen. This is why uninformed voting is insane. This is why voting for laughs is insane. This is why the media is trash. Okay? And we're just going to go down the list. We're going to go down the freaking list, man. We're going to go down the list. We go to tariffs, man. Tariffs. 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 Let's go to tariffs, right? We go to tariffs. And look at this. They put up a list of tariffs they're releasing on everybody. Tariff day finally comes after delaying it for 4 months. Look at this, man. The tariffs are calculated. Look at this, 90%. Oh my, 67%. Oh my, plus the 90. Like, Brody, I think these add together. Like, look at these percentages, and they're calculated based off trade deficit. Which does not hurt America. Trade deficit does not hurt America. That just means that they buy more than we buy from them, which probably makes sense. Or we buy more from them than they buy from us because we're a consumer society. And I don't know why this is a problem when we've been the number one economy. We've been doing this for decades. That doesn't even make sense. That can't even be a reason. This can't be a strategy to fix something that's not broke because we're number one. We've been number one in the economy. So we've had the number one currency. So what is this fixing? What is it? How is this hurting us? If we're number one already and this is hurting us, how are we, like, where are we going? What's higher? Like, how much higher are we going? But obviously that didn't happen because that gets us my second point. My second point, which is the stock market. And as soon as this happened, you know what happened to the stock market? Crash. 4%, negative 8, 9, 9, 17, 18. So the tariffs aren't good. And he rolls most of them back and leaves it at 10%. For what reason? How are you? You're not winning. There is no deals coming. You can't make it. It took two years to make the trade deal between Canada and Mexico or something like that. He's trying to make deals with hundreds of countries, all the countries in the world, simultaneously on trade. And the 10% is going to stay until then. Like, it doesn't make sense. Okay? It doesn't make sense. And the last thing, like, Trump is not smart. And very old. And it's showing. Okay. Like, do you have you listened to Trump answer a question? Every time he answers a question, it's, oh, the tariffs are doing amazing, and look, we did the tariffs and we've gotten $1 trillion of investment coming in already. Yeah, because of the tariffs, they're amazing, they're great. Yeah, awesome. We're just been on the phone with China. Actually, cut Fox. That's actually not true. China says they have not been on the phone and they're retaliating. 50% tariffs. Cut. You're a bad reporter. NBC. Get him out. He's NBC. He's a bad reporter. Are you from NBC? Like, we're just doing amazing. Like, Trump is not smart. Very old, and it's showing. He looks tired. They have people reading him executive orders. He doesn't even know what the executive order is before he signs them. Joe Biden was reading all of his executive orders. Trump doesn't even know what the executive order is before he signs it. Okay? He doesn't even know what the order is before he signs it. Like, it's crazy. He doesn't. Oh, and I forgot. Oh, the Trump. Oh, hold up. The Trump meme coin. My man Trump, as the president, made a meme coin, crypto, and is rug pulling his fan base as we speak. As the president. And as the president, he is over the commission that would get him in trouble for that. And the Supreme Court passed presidential immunity. So even if a case was brought, which he would just fire him or whatever, he has immunity. For official actions. It's like, what? Somehow they would just make this official. Somehow. Think about this. That wasn't even news for like 2 weeks. It's like, and it's just a bombardment. It's just a bombardment. Biden gets cancer and it's the news. Why is that the news? It's actually sad. I'm glad he didn't win. Imagine if he was in office. I'm mad he didn't win. I mean, I'm like, I feel sad that he had to do that. He had to do something historic as a president and just be normal after Trump and not, and he got stuff passed through with a 51-50 thing in the Senate. And he was old and he was getting slower, but he was way smarter than Trump. He would stutter, but if you listen to what he said, it made sense. But that's not what people listen to. They just, oh, is it funny? Oh, does it sound upbeat? Does it look younger, even though it suntans itself? It paints itself orange and blondes its hair and is a comb over. Like, I don't like. It's just annoying. I just really do feel sorry for Biden that it's aggressive prostate cancer. Like, he's gone. He's probably about to be gone. I ain't gonna hold you. Did I spell right wrong? Oh my gosh. But like, it's just insane. I can go on forever. So I can just keep putting stuff up. I can just keep putting stuff up. Then we go to the deportations. Said he was going to deport people. Talking about he's going to deport homegrowns. Is deporting people so fast so they're out the country, so the courts have a hard time getting to them, and so they're just saying that the other country has control over them now, which is crazy. Not letting people get their due process, their Fifth Amendment right. These are green card holders. These are people, and he's saying he wants to do it with homegrowns next. Send them to El Salvador. Like, what? That doesn't make sense. And people are like, oh, they're illegal immigrants, so this can't be done to me. Bro, like, if you look at the due process right in the Constitution, read it. It says all persons get due process. All persons. It doesn't say citizen. It says persons. A person is a person. If you own a U.S. land, you's a person. You get due process rights. That's the right. Like, there's no excuse for it. There's no nothing. If you want to deport people, deport them right. Obama was the deporter in chief. He did it right. He wouldn't just send them to El Salvador, and he was deporting them back to their country. But he deported them right. That's all you got to do is deport them right. It's not that hard. And then we get to violating those court orders. Supreme Court court orders. Supreme Court rolling on 2 temporary orders. And Trump and them still violating everything. We're at a constitutional crisis. I didn't even put that down. Oh my gosh. And it's just so much. I'm just rambling. It's just so much. If you were, I don't gotta spell it. Am I missing an I? Probably. Like literally because of Trump and them not following the court, the highest court of the land. And what happens when the enforcer doesn't want to follow the court? Who can enforce the enforcer? Thank you, the Supreme Court, for presidential immunity. Thank you. Thank you. Then we get to universities. They're trying to cut funding from universities for using their First Amendment right for anything. They consider DEI. DEI is like the new Red Scare. It's like the boogeyman. If universities have DEI, they just lose funding. If they have a, the Trump administration wants universities to like send them their curriculum in so they can do it, like correct it, and they can approve it, which doesn't make sense. The federal government doesn't do that. uh Law firms, they're doing the same thing with law firms, and law firms have, and Trump is bragging about it, going to law firms saying we're going to take your defense, we're going to take your authorization to the documents. I can't think of the word, you know what I'm talking about, if because you defended people that we don't like, and some of them have turned over and said they would work for the Trump administration for a certain amount of money, and Trump brags about it, and others haven't. But that's their First Amendment right to work with who they want to work with. Why are you getting mad at them for working like that's absurd. That's stepping on rights. That's everything he said he would do, and he did. And if you thought Trump, if Biden or if Kamala would be worse than Trump, I don't know how you could think that. I don't know how you could think that the world would be this bad under Kamala. She would just did what Biden did, and we were doing great under Biden. So it doesn't even make sense logically. And then we get, into foreign policy. We get into foreign policy, and we got JD Vance and Trump yelling at Zelensky in the White House. JD Vance is telling Zelensky he didn't say thank you this time, even though he says thank you every time for all the aid he has ever been given to anybody. And he was unjustly attacked by Russia. He's a sovereign nation. Ukraine is a sovereign nation, and they berated him in the White House about not saying thank you, and said he was the issue. Think about that. This isn't even a hard issue. If somebody came to your house and took your bike, no. When somebody came to your house, your neighbor lived next to you, and they took like a quarter of your yard. You used to grill over. They took it all over. They took your grill. You had garden gnomes. You had a bunch of stuff, a rake. You had a bunch of stuff over. That was yours. That was part of the property of your house. What are you supposed to do about that? You supposed to shoo, get back up. Before I uphold on you. It's my stuff. And this is a sovereign nation. So, in that situation, you call the cops. Tell them, get up, move. They're trespassing. Or you just, if you're in Florida, you can, bang. You feel me? So, it's just like, it's just, that's, in that situation, like, Ukraine is in the right. Russia is in the wrong. That's just what it is. That's the clearest thing you could ever do, say anything. Like, if you are on Russia's side, you're really a terrible person. Okay? And then we get to, like, Trump saying he's gonna, like, what he said he was gonna do in Gaza. Like, shipping 1 million Palestinians to Syria. What? Like, it's just terrible. Everything about it is terrible. Russia. Oh, that's my dryer. My washer. Oh my gosh. Calm down. Okay, I'm back. And so it just doesn't make sense. Like it's just everything he said he was gonna do, he did, and it's going terrible. All our rights are getting trampled. Trump is talking, bro, a third term. Trump is joking about running for a third term. That is unconstitutional, and it's not a joke. It's like, and I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because I just recorded a video on experience, and I'm a political science major. I watch politics all the time. I understand it. I want to be a lawyer. I understand the government. I understand the law system. I understand how the nation works, how it is formed. That's what my degree is, what I got a degree for. So I'm an expert in this area. And when I explain it to people, they just don't understand. And I feel like I'm screaming to the crowd, and they're just like, oh, everything's fine. I can still get my Oreos. And I mean, I feel the same way, but it's at the same time, it's like I'm still living my ordinary life. I still have my issues, but at the same time, it's like this is happening in the background, and this could affect me for the rest of my life, for the America I live in. Maybe I have to go to a different place because of what the Trump administration does in this next 3.5 years. You feel me? Like we might not be where we need to be, where we was, what we could be. And people just don't understand that. And we've lived in a time of prosperity. It's hard to imagine. This is just after after World War One. Nobody wanted World War Two. But this is an even more extreme sense, I think, in the sense of, in America anyways, if we've lived in a time of prosperity upon prosperity upon everything is just getting better, better, and better. Think about from the 2000s to 25. Just think about that 25 years, the evolution of the world, how much it has improved, the internet, cell phones, video games. Oh my, just think about it. Amazon, like social media, YouTube. Just think about the evolution of the world and how much it has improved. And in America, we just have gotten, because we're the lead, and we've just gotten the best of all of that, right? And we're spoiled, and we don't understand what it is. We don't understand what it takes to be number one. We don't understand how that, when I say we don't understand what it takes, we don't understand what that means, what we need to do as a nation. We are confused with what we need to do in administration, foreign policy wise, economically, rights in our nation, the bill of, like, attacking the Bill of Rights and are being weakened. Our Constitution is being broken by the administration daily at this point. It's just insane. It just is insane. And I just can't even, like, I probably look panicked. I'm probably like scrambling for my words, but like, this is really the situation. It's dire. And when I say that, people are like, oh, it's not. But I feel the same way you feel. I feel like I have my life. I have my worries that I need to worry about. I got to do this. I got to do that. But like, we're getting to that point where people need to be protesting, right? And like, people might leave the country, and like, it's just, I told you so. And if you're a Trump supporter and you're still being duped, I don't understand how you could be duped. And that just proves it's a cult. Because if you see what Trump has done now and you still support Trump, it just doesn't make sense. There's no way you can support tariffs that have crashed the stock market 17%, and I don't think the market has came back from where it crashed from. I don't know how you could justify that. No deals have came from that. There's still like, nothing has come from that is positive in the sense of our nation as a whole. People are turning away from they're going to figure out how to do stuff without us. They're going to form deals with people they wouldn't form deals with usually, like China. They're going to they're gonna do stuff without us, and that's gonna hurt us further because they're not gonna come back because they're not gonna trust us because every 4 years we put in a goddamn somebody who is illogical, doesn't have policy, and just runs on whatever he feels like saying and funny jokes and just whatever, doing whatever he wants and power and all. And it's just like, it's just ignorant. It just doesn't make sense. And I was right, and I told you so. And I hope this just gets through your head. Like, you're just, if you still support Trump, you're delusional. You're delusional. And in the future, you're gonna be in, if we make it through this, you're gonna be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed to be, this should be the most embarrassing thing you've ever did in your life. This should be like you killed somebody, or you almost killed, like attempted murder. You should be embarrassed. You should be ashamed if we make it through this and, you know, everything comes out all right. And because in the history books, it's gonna be like so obvious that you were dumb, that you were just dumb, that COVID was a real issue, and that the vaccines were fine and it did amazing, and that the masks and stuff, you know, that like in real time, better decisions could have been made if they knew stuff after the fact that they knew. Like, obviously, if they knew what they knew then they would, you know what I'm saying, like, stuff could, but like, compared to what you wanted to do, compared to what you're saying, or what, like, if you just look at all these situations in the future, if it turns out, you know, the good future, or just the okayest future, then it's just gonna be even funnier if we make it that far, and I'm gonna be a 40-year-old man laughing at you bums for the rest of your lives. And I still might be friends with you, but you're gonna be, in my mind, just a little inferior because you were duped, and you continue to be duped after fundamental rights are trampled upon, after Trump does what he says he's going to do, and the economy is hurt by that, after Trump repeatedly breaks the law and the Constitution, doesn't follow the court's orders, the Supreme Court's orders, makes a meme coin where people can invest. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. The 400 billion-dollar plane. Is it billion or million? The $400 billion plane that was given to him by Carter, whatever that country's name is. Like, just breaking the law outright. And he picked all the little people he wanted to pick, so he's not even going to be looked at for any of this. Think about it. This is historic. This is way worse than Nixon. This is way worse than, like, Bill Clinton got clipped for less than this. Bill Clinton got clipped for lying to Congress. You understand that? He got clipped for lying to Congress about some, you know what, and you know where. And Trump just got a $400 billion plane, or $1 million plane. I don't know what it was. I don't know. He just got, like, I don't know if it was billion or million. I think it was million. It doesn't matter. Either way, that's crazy. The meme corner is crazy. Okay. If you agree, disagree, like, comment, and subscribe, you know. Have a good day.